What's up, y'all? Happy hump day. It's your girl V with Reality Recap here with the one and only, my favorite, attorney Symone Redwine with Girl Is That Legal podcast. We have teamed up today to break down Love and Hip Hop Atlanta star Renni Rucci's baby daddy and rapper Blacc Zacc,
Yep.
who was indicted on federal RICO charges around October 28th, I believe, was the when I first got the tip that there was a raid in South Carolina and he was arrested on those federal charges. So it's a 22-page document. I definitely couldn't break down all that legal Chinese on my own. So I reached out to Attorney Simone
Oh,
and
goodness.
so we could go through it. So tell them where they can find you. Don't forget to plug what we just talked about. Tell the people.
Absolutely. So thank you guys. I'm your legal bestie, attorney Symone. It's been a minute since I've been over on this channel. I'm sorry, guys. It's my allergies. I had no business. I took my talents to Atlanta for Halloween. Actually, I was at Thursday, I was in Houston. And then I flew to Atlanta. And then the next day I flew to Orlando and then Houston. No, in the San Antonio and then Houston. So basically, I'm sick because I couldn't sit still.
You never
Yes.
do.
Yes, I apologize. But yes, so I'm your legal bestie, attorney Symone. My channel is called Girl Is That Legal if you're watching from there. And you can always check me out as well. I'm going to share the screen. You can go to my site, SymoneRedwine.com, which is right here, and book a consult with me as an attorney. And just click book up here. They start at just $200. I love to help you with your legal issue anywhere in America. And secondly, I want to let you guys know I am bringing back my background check segment. So I need y'all to submit. I just put on my channel, I just dropped, there we go. And I'm going to pin it, the form to request a background check on whoever you want. If I select you, you get to be anonymous, but I present you with the results. And I do redact names and all that good stuff. So we're not out here to embarrass anyone. However, we are here to protect people and let them know, help them figure out who they really dealing with. So happy to be here, y'all.
Happy to have you again because this case was dropped in my lap pretty quickly. It was one of my exclusive posts, and yeah, it really interests me because, of course, I cover everything reality TV. Renni Rucci is on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, and we've seen Renni Rucci in the news and headlines before with her baby father. Again, he's a rapper by the name of Blacc Zacc. If you guys recall, when Kevin Gates dropped the song with Renni, that she says was about a year old. He went online, Blacc Zacc. He went online. He was threatening to kick her out the house. He was upset. They had allegedly broke up. She has also claimed that he's an habitual cheater, but that she's working through it for her family. They share one child together, and she has a child from a previous relationship. So again, on October 28th, there was a raid in Columbia, South Carolina, and Blacc Zacc, or also named Zach Chapman, he was arrested on federal RICO charges. I believe it's about 8 or 9 counts in his
Yep, that's
indictment.
correct. I'm
Yeah,
blowing my nose. That's why I turned my video off real quick.
and it was about 22 pages long. So I gave you guys a very short, under 3 minute, just recap of the charges. But again, I wanted to go through the pages with attorney Symone. And also I
Sure.
had a little bit of tea because I think I found the person that was named in the paperwork. There's one person that was allegedly unalived, and they only give the initials in the documents of CW, where I think I have found the person that was actually unalive that they're speaking about. So I definitely want to get into that. So do you want to pull up
Sure.
let's
Okay,
go
let me,
to documents. I
so
think we
is
can
that
add
first?
them
There we
here.
go. Let me make it
Yep.
larger. All right. So this man is a career criminal. So we're going to start there. Okay. He's a career criminal. But I always say, if you're going to date a drug dealer, make sure he's a leader. So one of the blessings here is he is the head honcho of this little criminal enterprise, allegedly.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and this he's quite the gentleman. Actually, before I get into it, should we play that clip just for some context so they can just see how much he loves Rennie?
Okay, yeah, we'll play the clip of when Blacc Zacc was upset about the Kevin Gates song. So let's
Just so you can see kind of the dynamic. And this was
yeah,
when she either was pregnant or just had her baby.
right.
The one who got caught cheating got the
I
girl
never
that got
cheated. That's the thing.
Who the fuck said you cheated, bitch?
You cheated.
You stupid ass. I said I ain't the one who got caught
cheated.
cheating in the world. See
You
shit.
cheated.
Nigga,
not me. I've never
Man,
cheated.
be quiet.
I've never cheated. You with the Roches, the
storyline.
Rolos,
You need
the
a
Sky Blacks,
You need
the
a
all of
storyline.
them.
You
It's
need
not
a
about a
storyline.
storyline. It's
Shit
real
taking
life.
this
I ain't
back
cheating in real life. You are.
That shit going
You
down
are.
just like this, so
You
get the
are.
storyline.
You are.
Go ahead, get the storyline.
You are. I'm
Her
with the
daddy must
storyline.
be dead. I'm gonna just say that her daddy
You
must
are.
be
You
dead.
cheat in real life.
Because if
Not
my
me.
daddy saw that,
What? Why you not leaving?
Not me.
heard him talking to me like that,
I try to make my family work.
Yeah.
Call me crazy.
Everybody say that.
Call me crazy. Hyped up about what? About a nigga releasing a song from 5 years ago? No, you said I was. You just got on the phone with your friends and said I was. I never was hyped up about nothing. Never was hyped up about nothing. I got on live to clear it up like you like you wanted. You said I didn't do enough. You said I didn't do enough. You said I didn't do enough. Be for real. Be for real. You said I didn't do enough. Through shots? That's the truth. I ain't the one cheating. I ain't did no cheating, period. That's a song from 5 years ago. I know you are. I know you are. Hey, Roche.
he sounds like he puts his hands on women.
Be on the way then. Be on the way. 5 minutes up the house from our street, from our house while I'm sitting with your baby. Be on the way. Be on the way. Be on the way.
All right. Well, that's the jailbird, y'all.
Nothing the truth. You cheat. I'm miserable because you cheat.
Why you want to leave?
I'm miserable. I will.
Thank you. I like it.
All right. Before we get more into the legal facts,
are.
I just want to remind the women out there watching. Listen, just because you get pregnant doesn't mean you need to be a mama. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
You gotta keep it.
Listen, he has not appeared on Love and Hip Hop for me to see the dynamic of their relationship. It doesn't seem like she has a close relationship with her father. She had a kind of strange relationship with her mom. They were actually trying to come back together while she was on the show, and then she passed away from some health complications. So I don't know if it's daddy issues or not, or if it was good at once and then went bad. I'm really not sure because he does not come on the show at all. But this was the first introduction we really had of their relationship. And then she came on the show. She said on the show the last season that he was capping, that he did not kick her out, that they were fine, and she stayed in the house that night. That is what she talks about on the show. But yeah, this is Blacc Zacc. This is the only dynamic that we get to see, so we can only judge by what we see.
Right. I'm sure he's a great person. I'm sure he's a fine, upstanding citizen. I'm sure he pays all of his taxes, goes to church, kisses babies, and helps old ladies cross the street right after he's committing crimes, unaliving people, selling drugs and substances, and attempting to murder people.
Right.
So let's get into it.
Yeah, so as you mentioned, he is being alleged as, we'll probably go to the second page, but he's being alleged as the head of an organization or the entrepreneur of a company called DME, or Dirty Money Entertainment.
Yes.
It said that he pretty much was the leader of this, as they claimed it to be, gang. And in here, I'm trying to pull it back up so I can see it too. It says that this started on or before, like it's no later than June, was it 2020? So they've been watching him for some time, right?
Oh yeah, that's usually how. So in federal court, the statute of limitations is 5 years generally for crimes. So that's why they're going back to 2020. Mm-hmm.
And it said he engaged in acts involving unaliving someone, drug trafficking, robberies, and other criminal activity from a time unknown, but no later than June 2020 is what I saw.
Correct. Yeah, so they're only going back that far. He may have done other things, but that's just as far as they're going to go back. And interestingly, I also pulled his record, his criminal record, assets, etc. And he has a corporation LLC that he filed with the state of South Carolina called Dirty Money Entertainment. So yes, it is an entity and it is linked to him, and he has registered it. So I guess, props to Renni for, at least if you go get a drug dealer, this time get your head honcho, because she loves her a jailbird. Because her last one was Fugazi or Fugiano or something.
Not Fugazi. Yes.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
All the same. Sorry, all my allergies. Yeah, so yeah, she had Fugazi and now she's upgraded to this gentleman. Now, we're going to hit the highlights. I won't read every single page because of the way my ADD is set up. But it does state it claims that basically Zachary Chapman is his real name. What did they call himself? Big and Black? What is this?
Blacc Zacc.
Blacc Zacc. Okay, I can remember that because it rhymes. Blacc Zacc was the founder and leader of DME. As the leader, he directed all of their activities, but he occasionally delegated authority to other members and associates to perform certain tasks. Now, here's how RICO works. The way that is successful is because so he's the head honcho, but to get to the head, you have to get the lower level people to testify. So what happened is, in order to catch the mob, they amended the law to create RICO, which says the least of you, if you are part of the enterprise, can be charged just as severely as the head honcho, Blacc Zacc. So, for example, if you're just the little drug boy that just wraps up the weed and puts it in your bottom and sneaks it into the prisons, you can still be given, or you'll face life in prison as Blacc Zacc, just like the both of them. Okay. All right. So continuing. The main part to know is that DME, it existed throughout South Carolina. That's where they ran their havoc. Generally, the members and associates of the enterprise, it says, had loosely defined roles as couriers, substance dealers, weapons suppliers, organizers, and enforcers. Members and associates wore medallions, and they wore clothing and tattoos that demonstrated their affiliation with DME. And they often incorporated dirty into their name, which is great. Don't want people to think we bathe. I guess it's kind of like ASAP Rocky and the ASAP crew had incorporated ASAP into everything. All right. So then it says, it goes on to say that DME had a set of rules to maintain discipline, like a cult, and ensure that criminal acts committed on behalf of the enterprise were executed properly. These rules prohibited cooperation with law enforcement. Child, that's all black men in the hood. Can't snitch. It had limited affiliation outside of the enterprise, and it required repayment of debts owed to DME leaders and prohibited members and associates from diverting the enterprise's funds. All right, so we go jump forward because I got a bit of a summary too. Now, the purpose of the enterprise is to wreak freaking havoc. Okay, that's what it is. And the means of the enterprise, how did they do it, y'all? They did it by running amok. Okay, they ran a ghetto muck throughout South Carolina, specifically by agreeing to engage in illegal activities, it says, under the protection of the enterprise, including substance trafficking, robbery, and other illegal activities. Also, they used firearms for protection and to commit crimes, including retaliatory acts of violence. We're going to get into that. That's where it gets juicy.
Now, really quickly on the medallions and the logos that you said were on the clothes, right? It said that the logo included the number 48, and that was always also used in music lyrics, is what I saw. So it's the number 48 that they were using, and they were saying that kind of represented about 5 areas throughout South Carolina that everyone that was within this organization was from, is what I read as well. So anybody with a 48 chain, and I guess they're a part of this down there.
Okay. Have you heard any of their music?
No.
Yeah, no one is going to. I feel like that type of stuff, the music is more of a drug front. Like, they were going to do the substances regardless. They're going to sell those. But they're like, yeah, if we can release an album as a side benefit, let's do it. And then goes on to talk about the racketeering conspiracy and some of the acts that they've committed, including we're going to get to the unaliving. It says Zachary Chapman, and then what's blacked out are likely his other co-conspirators who have not yet been released. They don't release those names yet if they're trying to get them to cooperate or if they are cooperating.
And that was my question, because there are a lot of blackouts throughout this entire document. The only name really mentioned is Zach's name throughout the entire document. So my question, that was one of my questions to you, is are they blacked out because they're cooperating?
Correct. Yeah. No, just because you're cooperating doesn't mean you're not also going to face charges. So they could be facing charges too, but it means that they do not have an unsealed indictment at this point. So if they did, because sometimes what'll happen is a co-conspirator will get indicted, but they will keep it sealed and have that person cooperate and be, in order to be like, hey, no one has to know you're cooperating. We'll keep this sealed, but you have to actually, when the time comes, testify and support, the government. If you don't, we're going to charge you and all hell's going to break loose.
Wow.
Okay. Oh, my vision is bad, y'all. Okay. Then it goes on to say, it says, persons known and unknown to the grand jury, being persons employed by and associated with dirty money enterprise were involved. That's an enterprise engaged in activities which affected interstate commerce. I'll skip to that. Then there's multiple acts that were at issue here. Here's the juice. We got murder. And then we've got robbery. We've got also additional acts that include unaliving for hire. Who are these people? Unaliving for hire, as well as robbery, extortion. Of course, you got to extort them a little bit if you're in a gang, and multiple offenses involving substance trafficking. I know I didn't miss the unaliving. Oh, yeah, no. That the first one was unaliving, charging under the law. Got it. Okay. So then let me go on and I'll kind of summarize it. So it says in or about June 20th, and we're on page 7 of 22, y'all. In or about June 2020 until the present is when old boy's been acting up. It says co-conspirator 1 and others known and unknown to the grand jury transported large amounts of cash from Columbia, South Carolina to LA for the purposes of purchasing quantities of marijuana on behalf of DME. Remember, in California, it's legal. It's legal there. But if you're going to drive that stuff, every state you go through must also find it lawful. Otherwise, you will get arrested and charged, etc.
Now, is there a possibility that other states will pursue charges, or is it not even worth it because this is a federal case at this point?
Yeah, you let the feds. He'll get more time under RICO than anything else. And people are less likely to flip related to state charges because it's a lower offense.
Okay. And this is why it also struck me as like it's bigger than the Young Thug case, because he was more just dealing with the DA of Georgia.
Yeah.
And this is federal. So to me, this seemed like this is bigger than Young Thug's RICO charges.
Yes, correct. And I pulled Blacc Zacc's record, and he has prior charges of trafficking substances, but also trafficking marijuana in 2025, and was actually charged. He received a felony for that. So I believe a component of these charges are he's a felon in possession of weapons, not supposed to do that either. It goes on to say that on September 3rd, members and associates of the gang and co-conspirator 1 and others met to discuss the theft of a DME medallion, like a chain, basically, and the plan to retaliate for the theft. Blacc Zacc and others, known and unknown, it says they planned and carried out a drive-by shooting of someone named CW. I don't know why they would got out seated. Oh, he must have survived. No.
That's the thing. So it seems like, and you tell me after we keep going through it, it seems like
Hit
they
that light, y'all.
tried to unalive CW. They were unsuccessful, and it seems like they tried again and then they were successful, is what I understand or what I read.
Because what I'm surprised about here is that they're using his initials. Usually, if someone is deceased, go ahead and say their name. What does it matter?
I
They're
told
not
you.
here. They're not going to
Yeah.
testify. So it's not like you need to protect their identity for testimony. And it's public information if someone has passed away. That's how come you can get, in certain circumstances, you can get a death certificate or a copy of an autopsy, like how people got copies of Kim Porter's autopsy. Yeah. Okay. We'll find out.
I told you, like, someone dropped this in my DM and it's alleged, but there is another rapper of a rival gang in Colombia by the name of Christian Watson.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Christian Gold.
No, wrong case, Symone. Wrong case.
Gotcha.
But there is he was in the rival gang. He is he was a rapper as well, and his they also sent me a picture of his tombstone, which showed that the date like coincides with the date of the unaliving that was in this paperwork. So I can't say for sure this is who it is. So allegedly, this guy Christian Watson, his tombstone reads he was born December 25th, 1999, and passed away on October 21st, 2021, which is the date that was listed in this case.
Gotcha. Okay. That guy from Texas has stated the person on trial usually has a pretty good idea of who's testifying against him. That's absolutely true. You have to know. It has to be released under the law, under the Constitution. I think it's the Sixth Amendment, Fifth Amendment. You have the right to confront your accuser. Basically, if someone is going to testify against you, you have the right to cross-examine them. That's how come if someone says something, but then they're deceased, a lot of times in court, you can't submit their statement because you can't cross-examine a dead person. So yeah, he's gonna ultimately know who all the people are that are testifying against him, and then he can go like beat them up or unalive them, which happens all the time.
Yeah, and I did get a little bit of tea. Again, this is alleged. It's alleged that Blacc Zacc was moved out of Colombia. Like he's no longer, like they've moved him to another state.
Yeah,
I was thinking because of this, because either someone may want to hurt him or vice versa. They don't want him to organize any of these people that are listed and blacked out, putting a hit out on any of them.
Totally. Because you know they be in jail all the time. He looked like he go to jail on Thursdays. If y'all, you couldn't see it because that video was dark, but I googled his picture. He like he go to jail on Thursday, just like my Uncle Leonard. Hey, Uncle Leonard, rest in hell. He's dead.
Yeah. And that's his mugshot on the thumbnail that we put up for that. That is his mugshot. So if you guys want to see him,
Renni knows how to pick him. Remy, bless her heart. All right. Next up, it says also in paragraph 23, getting back to it, says the co-conspirator one then gave firearms to Blacc Zacc. On September 3rd, Zacc then ordered co-conspirators to provide firearms for the use of the drive-by of CW. On or about that same date, some co-conspirator, it says, gave a firearm to another DME member to commit the shooting. And then others, known and unknown by the grand jury, obtained a vehicle to commit the drive-by. So basically all these are co-conspirators. That's how they did it. And they all did the drive-by in retaliation because they believed that this guy stole their stupid ass chain. Medallion. All right. So then it goes down to 20 and it says on or about the 3rd, others known and unknown to the grand jury committed the drive-by, and members, as well as members of, quote, rack living. I guess that's like rack sitting. I don't know. And then it said that one of the co-conspirators then shot his driver, it says, in the arm during the drive-by shooting. Okay, so not only are these guys criminals, but they're dumb criminals with poor aim because he shot his own homeboy in the arm, which is probably how he got caught because old boy probably went to the hospital and they determined it. It then says, and others known and unknown abandoned multiple firearms and fled the scene of the drive-by, of course, after they shot their own homeboy. And then it says co-conspirator 1 and others transported approximately $30,000 in cash and firearms from Columbia, South Carolina to LA. Hold on. Yeah, co-conspirator and others, no. Transported $30,000 cash from Columbia to South Carolina. On or about, and then it says that on or about October 20th, they traveled from South Carolina to Columbia to meet with somebody at a Columbia hotel. Then Javon Hamilton attempted to lure CW. That means Javon is also already indicted and it's unsealed because they're telling his business by telling his name.
Mm-hmm.
He attempted to lure CW to an apartment complex. After CW did not appear, someone else rescheduled the unaliving for October 21st, my daddy's birthday. On the 21st, Zacc then provided somebody with a pistol and requested that it be used to unalive CW. There were text messages that were exchanged and in order to plan CW's murder, and the authorization was given. And then one of the co-conspirators traveled from Aiken, South Carolina to an apartment complex in Columbia to unalive CW. At 10:30 at night, CW was shot multiple times at close range, leaving him unalived in the parking lot.
So is that where the attempted unaliving and
That's
then
what it,
the
yeah, that's what it would be.
unaliving? 'Cause
Attempted,
okay, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It read like they tried, they were unsuccessful.
right.
They really had their wires crossed here, and then they tried again.
Right. So then they had that, all the pistols and all that. They exchanged calls. This is just going through how they coordinated it together. Then it says, on or about January 2020, I'm going to call it Thug number 1, whatever Thug, followed a marijuana trafficker from Greenville Spartanburg Airport to a nearby gas station. And once there, what do you want? And once there, he robbed him. He robbed the weed dealer at gunpoint and stole multiple suitcases containing marijuana. I want y'all to just process this. This is how the feds do. When they come for you, like we saw with Diddy, they come for you. They are charging them with robbery of a drug dealer. The main reason drug dealers rob other drug dealers is because drug dealers don't generally tell the cops so you can get away with it. Yeah, they'll retaliate, but I don't know when I've seen someone criminally charged for robbing another drug dealer. And here's why. I once represented a drug dealer, and it was exactly that. He was charged. This was somewhere in Texas. I won't say where. It was public information. Shit, I won the case. Guy was charged with robbing another drug dealer and like stealing his car. And I was like, and he was trying to make bail, but he didn't have the money to make it. And I said, I'll say this. You all know I'm very well educated, but depending on the client and the environment, I can code switch. So on that day, I was at the Tarrant County Jail, and he was getting on my nerves, talking about, if you're supposed to be so good, how come you can't get me out on bail? And I said, let me tell you something, nigga. You don't need to be out on bail because you just robbed a drug dealer who is looking to cut your head off. Okay? Cut that boosie fade right off your head. Furthermore, fade. I said, so you need to sit your words down right here. I said, furthermore, I believe you're going to be able to get off because I don't think the drug dealer that you robbed is going to show up to court. And if he don't show up, ain't there a case. I done told little Becky Karen, the little lily white prosecutor in Tarrant County. I said, girl, why don't you just offer this man a plea, give him some probation or something? Because old boy is not showing up. And he was like, well, he said he's going to. I said, drug dealers lie all the time. Lying to you. He's on probation with somebody else. He not fooling with you. I tell you what, I bet you that boy's going to run to Louisiana and you're not going to see him. You're not going to see him at all for this court. I bet you not, because you don't subpoena the star witness. Sure enough, trial date comes. Oh boy doesn't show. He gets off. He did that shit. He did it. But my point is, I've never seen, you don't usually see a part of a RICO, one of the charges being robbing other substance dealers, because that means the government has to believe that the other drug dealers are going to come show up to say, hey guys, it was me. I got robbed. I got robbed. But here's what I think is more likely. Those other drug dealers are actually informants.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they
I
were
agree.
found out and why they're blacked out here. All right.
And I'm gonna be honest with you too. Like I was with all the stuff. I know Tori was saying they should legalize marijuana in South Carolina. I
Hey,
was
Latoya.
honestly expecting to read that he was trafficking more than the devil's lettuce. I was surprised that with all the charges and all the type of criminal activities that they have spelled out in this document, that's all. I thought they was gonna have some of that hard white, some other stuff there, but that's all I really saw was the devil's lettuce. So I was like, I mean, if he wasn't out here allegedly unaliving people, this might not be
fine.
bad.
He would be fine. He could probably even get pardoned by Nissy Neck Trump. I call him Nissy Neck because it's like his neck looks like a pussy.
What? I've never heard that before in my life.
Oh yeah, I have a video of it on my channel. It's like, and it's got this. I don't know. Google it. Just put in Nissy Neck, and it might come up. Somebody on my channel made it up. Thank you guys. Hit that a like and subscribe. But so carrying it on, the main thing that he's in trouble for is the actual successful unaliving of Oh Boy. And as well as, of course, the gang was wreaking havoc. So what I anticipate likely happened in South Carolina, because their state court their state judicial system is underfunded. They likely saw what was going on, went to the feds and were like, hey, would you like to handle this? We'd like to get him off the streets. He's a nuisance. And so is DME and their participants. And they were like, cool, we don't have anything better to do. It's South Carolina federal court. And here we are. Yeah. So going down to the bottom part, though, finally it talks about Blacc Zacc, then registered. Oh, is that registered? Hold on. Oh, he negotiated. Sorry. He negotiated to return what a nice drug dealer. Hold on. Let me just read this again. So they robbed the drug dealers at the airport. And then it said Zacc told somebody that the trafficker that they robbed was a gang member and directed them to give him back his drugs because that wasn't nice.
Well, how nice of him.
How nice. He's the kindest drug dealer I've ever met. And then it says Zacc then negotiated the return of a portion of the stolen drugs.
Just a portion, though.
Just a portion. He spent the other or smoked it or sold it. We're not sure. But subsequently, co-conspirator made a payment to the victim of the robbery. Well, that's how you know those are two leaders negotiating. Too bad the Democratic Party and the Republicans can't do that.
Yeah, I was
healthcare.
There was one charge that one of the counts that was a little confusing to me. I have to find it because it was saying something like, okay, that's count 3 is the murder, the causing death. I have to find it real quick. But it seems like they were charging him with like a cell phone conspiracy to interfere with commerce. I think that's the robbery, right? But there was
interfere with commerce. Is drug dealing I guess it can be, yeah.
That's what I didn't understand. Like, are we calling that commerce? I didn't really understand that.
Well, you do have to, if you're a drug dealer, you do have to pay taxes on your drugs. And if you do, then you won't get charged with like tax evasion on top of it. So maybe.
Wow.
Excuse me. Or dealing with the interstate commerce could also have been, yeah, that's probably what it's, because it has to be something that happens across state lines. This was at the airport, so it could be. But then it goes on to say that that Zacc. It then says that Zacc then reported. Somebody called. The co-conspirator told Zacc about the shootout. Y'all, they had an entire shootout at the airport. So They go and try to rob the drug dealers at the airport, and then there's a shootout. That's why it's not just about the weed. You cannot be having shootouts at regional airports in the United States of America. They ain't got shit in South Carolina as it is. Trust me, I've been to death row. I know. They don't got nothing over there. And now here you guys go, you little nigglets, going shooting up the damn airport over some ganja. They're over it. They're done with y'all. So that's how I got here.
So question, right? And
Yep.
all of this that you're reading, and they're saying like they met up, they discussed what was going to happen, who was going to do what. How do they know this? Was someone wearing a wire? Is some
Yeah, it's gonna be all of the above.
Like besides that, somebody's probably snitching. Like how it seems like they have text messages. They know these conversations. Was somebody tapped?
Probably. More than likely, yes, because they know that drug dealers are not reliable witnesses. We saw Lil Woody in the YSL trial, how he they forced him to be up on the stand. He acted a plum fool, had amnesia, and all the things. So it is generally significant or advised that you have one of them be tapped so that they capture verbatim what's really been, talked about, discussed, and going down. The other part of it is usually what happens is similar to the guy who was co-owning the Turkey Leg Hut with his wife. How he ended up getting taken down was because one of the guys that he hired to blow up the restaurant across the street, 5015, that guy got caught with a life sentence worth of cocaine and heroin and all this stuff in his car. And when that guy got caught, he said, well, wait. Let me tell you about this arson I was paid to commit. Instead of him facing life for that much substances there, he got a 5-year sentence. 3 to 5 years. And then he's like charged as a co-conspirator in the arson, but he's going to get points for cooperating. So that's likely what's happening here. Somebody here got caught doing something else other than these things and said, oh, let me help you. No, can I tell you about this other stuff so you can go easy on me?
Okay. Yeah, I was like, it just seems like, of course, they've been watching this for a long time and that they've really got their ducks in the row. And like you said, when the feds come, it seems like they seem to be always right. At least in my experience with reality TV stars, it'd be like, oh, we ain't gonna see them for a while.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And the gist of it is in the interstate commerce, I see now how it came into play. These last few sections are just establishing how they continue to traffic from South Carolina to California to LA. Let me tell you something. As someone who previously, prior to the statute of limitations, or way before the statute of limitations, has gone on a date with a substance dealer or two, may or may not, I'm telling you, if he's out here, if he's the driver, he lacks the leadership skills that you're looking for, ladies. You do not ever, don't you deal with the driver.
Never the help.
Need to be, you need the guy with the 18-wheeler. You need the guy that owns the 18-wheeler company or whatever. You need the leader. You need that person. He don't even really have a car. Okay. He got rental cars and he switched it up once a week to where I was like, why? Last week we had such, and this week we had, he's like, oh yeah, I just switched up. I didn't know any better because I don't ask those questions. I don't like to know that information. But that was also in a different country. So, and their statute of limitations again. Wait, what year was that? 2019. I'm good.
So one of the questions when I posted this story and I told you, one of my followers asked, and I wanted to get your opinion on it. So the question was, they said they saw that in the U.S. by Biden had just got back in partnership with Colombia in 2022 for criminality treaties such as drugs and murder. So in the indictment that we read, it said charges go back to 2021, starting in Colombia. Her question was, does this mean any charges that may have been before 2022 cannot be included in this, and will they be dropped?
No, it's not that. No, they won't be dropped. The feds know their statute of limitations, and if your substance dealing is touching and affecting American soil, then it goes back 5 years. So that's why 2020 is the date overall listed in the indictment. But it might be that the instance that they're referring to that involved Colombia occurred in 21. So I don't know, but also she's a very smart person. I don't know nothing about that treaty. I Googled it, and whatever I saw, it had nothing to do with it, wasn't helpful with this. But generally, they go all the way back. Like here, they're going all the way back to 2020. And then if something happens in another state or another country, another country, then they may have a different statute of limitations that applies to them. So
Yeah, and I also I listen, y'all know I'm no lawyer, but from what I was trying to read and put together, it seems like even though the dates are back to 2020, he's just being charged now. So it doesn't seem like they're gonna drop anything.
no, but what they do is they put it all on the table. That way they can then negotiate sentencing from there. So they want you to fear a life sentence so that you're more likely to take a plea and they don't have to go to trial. Yeah.
Well, being with that said, what would you say he's facing with these 9 counts against him? Like, what
Yeah.
is he facing? Is he facing
9
one?
counts. Yes. So I just want to make sure I'm just going to briefly summarize what each of the charges are, which is the first one was basically RICO. Excuse me. Then the second count is attempted unaliving in aid of racketeering. So basically unaliving while you're committing RICO offenses. Third is unlawful carry and discharge of a firearm in relation to a crime of violence. Fourth is conspiracy to commit unaliving, basically working together with other people to do it. And then 5 is actual unaliving related to racketeering. 6, use of interstate commerce facilities in the commission of an unaliving for hire. That's where we got the commerce. Okay.
And that's the one. What facilities? What do they mean?
Oh, when they say interstate facility, girl, like they can mean anything. In Diddy's trial, did you know that the reason baby oil was so important is it was an instrument of interstate commerce because it was shipped in from another state. So in order to prove RICO, you have to show that items related to interstate commerce were used. So here, that could be, so let me read the paragraph. It says,
It sounds like it because it said it was
be anything.
a cell phone.
It could be a cell phone. It says, that is a cell phone with the intent that the murder of CW be committed in violation of the laws of South Carolina. Yeah, because that cell phone can call and did call people in multiple states. So if baby oil can be a method of interstate commerce, a cell phone definitely is.
Wow.
Yep. Then we got count 7 real quick, which is the use, carry, or discharge of a firearm in relation to crime of violence. 8 is causing death through the use of a firearm. 9 is conspiracy to interfere with commerce by threats or violence. I'm
That's
pretty
the
sure
robbery, right?
yeah, that's the airport robbery. Take property consisting of, they did unlawfully plan to take property consisting of weed that had traveled in interstate commerce from the person and presence of those known. You've robbed a drug dealer. I've seen it all. You are getting charged with RICO for robbing a drug dealer.
Everyone deserves justice.
This part is forfeiture allegations, which is basically, this makes me feel sorry for Renni. How's that name? Renni Rucci?
Yeah.
Girl, you had to get a job. I mean, another one. You're doing just fine on the show. You had to get a job, girl, because they finna take everything he has. And I know he didn't put nothing in your name because he actually put it in the names of his businesses, which is like Zayden's something LLC. So what this means, the forfeiture allegations. Hold on, I'm gonna say the name of his little business because it is Zayden's Real Estate Investment LLC, and they got these cute little houses and stuff. Let me see if I can screen share. Hold on, let me save this image because I guess we don't need to be running up into these people's houses or nothing. But he has multiple properties in real estate. So he's got that real estate, which I was proud of, because I hate when I see drug dealers who have, put in all this effort, built this enterprise, done it for years, and have nothing to show for it. Like, why is your granny still on Section 8? Why does your mother still have finger waves? Why does your mother still have a gold tooth? At this point, it's time to get her a crown or veneers, right? And so when I don't see drug dealers with assets, it makes me sad. Like, what are you even doing?
Listen,
And
a couple people from Colombia was in my comments on TikTok. Like, they say he a big deal. Like, they say if you know, you know. So I don't know if anybody else on here from Colombia, but it seems like everybody knows who he is and what he is about.
well, that would explain why he got caught. That'll do it. That will do it. Here we go. This is one of his houses that I pulled up. Here we go. You can see it's that first one. You got to click it. But he has a plethora of real estate. There we go. Look at that. Look how wholesome that is. He probably put his mama and his granny in that right there.
Where you get this on Google Maps?
I pulled up his business, and it was, I think this is like pictures from when it sold or prior sold. Yeah. And I see, y'all, this is why if you're going to do one of these niggas, you better have him put you some assets in your name. Get you some mineral rights, okay? Get your house. Renni, Rumi, whatever your name is, girl. You already know you needed to pop that thing for a goon to get you some mineral rights. If you're going to pop it and he's going to talk to you ugly, walk away with a house. Don't you let that man call you a B word and you got to walk into an apartment.
Well, listen, she posted after this news broke. She posted in her story just a picture of them hugging, and she posted 2 days ago a picture of them hugging with hashtag no distractions. She had the little heart hands and a blue heart and a snowflake. That seemed incriminating, but I guess not, because it's only the devil's lettuce being called out. But it's giving she's gonna stick beside him. I mean, at least while he go to trial. And I don't know, depending on what the numbers look like, maybe she'll reconsider. And they do have a child together. She said she was staying for her family, but it's giving for
how many kids does she have in total? Is it 2 or 3? How many kids does she have in total? Like 2 or 3?
She has 2, I believe, and 1 is with him.
Oh, shoot. Bless her heart. I need to give her a hug. She didn't get enough hugs. And that's not her fault at all. Listen, well, that's nice. She's sticking beside him. Hopefully he told her where he's hiding the money and she was able to dig it up and put it somewhere safe. Girl, if you're watching Renni, can you make my face bigger? Our face is a little bigger. You can get this off the screen. Okay. I need her to look into my eyes and see. Renni, put it in Bitcoin. Put their money in Bitcoin. They not gonna find it. Put it in Bitcoin. But you gotta slide a little somebody to somebody, slide a little something. You got a babysitter or somebody, slide it to them. Okay. Put it in your granny social security account. Like a little bit. And then go to a Bitcoin ATM. Baby, Bitcoin is where it is. That's what the Russians do. Don't ask me how I know. Y'all, if you ever go to Dubai, if you're a black lady, them Russian men love you. That's all I'm saying. Renni, you got to take care of yourself and your kid. Bitcoin.
Wow, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. And you're right. She does have 3 children, but two prior and 1 with him.
This is not legal advice. Right. Natasha said this is not legal advice. This is me as your legal bestie, your home girl. If we were both drunk at brunch, this is something I would say. We don't money wire. We don't commit crimes. But if he has any legitimate businesses, like, I don't know, a car wash or something, and that money was used to get a house, you need to have that. Talk with his lawyers, talk with some lawyers. You need some property put in. You really should have already had the property put in your name. Because I don't want to see these girls to be dating these head honchos thinking they're not going to prison. Baby, I had to tell 1 or 2. I said, let me tell you something. I don't know what you do, but I got suspicions. And I'm going to tell you right now, I am very ride or take you to the hospital. Okay.
You're not ride or die?
I'm not dying. I'm not dying. You can die. I will get you to the hospital. I will do all that is within my power for you to be okay, but I'm not going with you.
Now, these properties, though, that you found that are his, are they in question? I saw someone saying
They
here,
finna
like,
be
if they
gone.
can prove if they were paid for by this,
Oh, they're
RICO
gone.
situation, are they gone?
Oh, that's why I worry about Renni. That's why I'm saying, Renni, you should have been did that. You should have been did that. Because now you're going to be renting for a long time. And this economy is about to be real bad.
Not renting.
It's real bad. But they still paying Section 8. The reason I know is because I just got my check today.
All right. Well,
I'm not on it. I have a tenant.
you have a
And
tenant.
I was
We
really
know better. We know better.
But I wouldn't mind being on it if that's something that I needed.
Me
There's nothing
either.
to be ashamed of. I'm a very good landlord. I even have a swimming pool at my place.
Yeah, help us that's working hard and struggling too. I ain't above it at all. I'm not above it at not one bit.
Oh, yeah. Purple Rain said like the Gottis still had their houses when he went to jail. So the issue is this. So long as you can prove that you had some legitimate business that was being run, there are ways to track and say, wait, you can't take this house. This house was bought from the legitimate business, whatever that is, right? The problem is if, like on Power, their only business was a washateria and then the hair salon that they used to clean the money, then no go. So that's also why, like with the Gaudis, part of the reason they were able to keep it is there were multiple family members who had multiple businesses that were not indicted, like the women.
Mm-hmm.
And so if those women bought the house like solely in their name with their hair salon money or whatever it was, that was not part of washing or any of that, they would get to keep certain properties.
Well, yeah, you said you didn't find any in Rennie's name. I don't know if she bought a house with her rap career or what, but
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
concerned.
Yeah. And it could be too like, she I hope she does multiple states. So I mean, I was only checking South Carolina, so she may have hers in Atlanta or some other. Yeah, blessed girl, I'm sorry.
Well, I'm hoping that this will be on the next season of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. I'm hoping we get a next season because it was announced yesterday that Love and Hip Hop Miami, this will be their last season that we're watching right now on BET.
Oh, good.
So, no, don't say that. I love Love and Hip Hop. It's my guilty pleasure, but
Even the Miami one.
I like the Miami one.
I like Atlanta. Who do you like on Miami?
Amada kind of runs things with her baby daddy and stuff, but I love Trick on there. I did love Flo and her crazy sister Gael. It doesn't seem like Flo is going to be back this season, but Gael makes an appearance. So I'm just hoping that Love and Hip Hop Atlanta is not following the footsteps in Miami, and we will get to see her side of this on the next season because they're doing green screens right now. So I pray.
Is it Gael's side of it?
No, Rennie's side of it. I'm hoping that we see Rennie's side of it on Atlanta because they're doing green screens for the next season right now. So I'm hoping we get to see this play out from her point of view.
You know, I did not know Jessie Woo started out on Love and Hip Hop. Right?
She was on there for a hot 7 seconds as a singer. She was
I won't say started out, but
yeah.
I didn't realize that until later. But yeah, actually, when I was in Atlanta last week, I was invited. They're recording Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, and I was invited to go to an event that was being recorded as part of the show. But that Atlanta traffic, boy, that'll get you.
I heard it's terrible.
Yeah, it'll get you real bad. But I want to say before I go as well, I want to take any additional questions. But don't forget, I have pinned. I'll also post it here. I'm posting it again in the chat. At least on my side, I don't know if the others could see it, but I'll put it in the private chat too. So Vanessa can. But if anyone is wanting a background check, you can submit to me a request for a background check. I will evaluate your request, and if I pick you, I'm going to contact you first, and you get the opportunity to come on my channel. You can be confidential. I won't give your name, and I actually redact the name of your target. We'll find out. So if it's somebody, if your sister got a fiance and you like, some in the milk ain't clean. If you're dating someone new and you just want to make sure he's legit before you let him, move in with your kids, or, maybe you think your daddy is getting scammed by some big titty nurse at the nursing home that seems to keep cash apping herself some money, and unbeknownst to anybody, she got a few felonies. Hit me up.
Do you bring them on the show and talk about it, or you okay?
Well, I bring the person who asked on the show.
Okay.
I show them that I then do a background check because I am a licensed private investigator in addition to a lawyer. I show them the court documents and redact them. And then I also, at the end, I asked, like, are you going to stay? Are you going to confront this person with the information? What are you going to do? And child, I be having back updates that are so interesting. I had a woman who her child was like 14 and she had never put her child's father on child support. They were off and on very much. And he was just not supporting the little girl as she was in high school. Things got expensive. He was a real estate investor doing very well in California. She filed for she just wanted whatever the reasonable child support was. He refused to submit his docs to the court. Court set it at the minimum for the state, which was like $40,000. And the judge told her, hey, if you want more, you got to prove it. So she called me. I said, bet. Because I was like, number one, they don't do that if you have a lawyer. If you have a lawyer, the lawyer advocates and it's like, no, Your Honor, set it at 100 or set it and make him unprove it. Because otherwise, men would never bring their documents. If you could get your child support set for $40,000 without bringing anything, what's the incentive? Stupid ass judge. Anyway, she called me. I did a full background check. I found that in 3 years, that guy sold $2.4 million worth of real estate, receiving 3% commission. The year before, he got a PPP loan where he told the government he earned $100,000, not $40,000. And he bought 3 properties in the prior year, in the current year.
Them PPP
I told her,
loans get you every time.
I said, subpoena those applications for the mortgages because you sign those under penalty of perjury. And for each one, you have to submit and sign what your sources of income are. So that's always, baby, I'm gonna tell y'all that if you got a baby daddy and he's in real estate and you think he hiding money, subpoena his mortgage documents. I don't care if it was 5 years ago, because they always make it the highest possible so they can get the property. Baby, she took everything I submitted to her that I gave her, sent it to the judge, not even had a hearing because she was out of state. The judge doubled her child support without a hearing.
Well, y'all hear it, y'all. Fill out the form.
Mm-hmm.
Fill out the form if y'all need to do a background check or y'all need some help getting some information on somebody for your upcoming child support court date. Hit your girl up. And that sounds juicy, Symone. Like
it is. And I have a playlist on my channel if you want to catch up. It's called like on the record background checks or whatever. If you want to catch up until then. But yeah, we're gonna have a good time, y'all.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So please, when you post it, I will repost it for you.
I love you.
Yeah, and so we'll wait to see what happens with this trial.
He's going to jail. Oh, you had asked me what is he facing? Life. He is facing life in prison. And the judge is particularly going to hammer it on him due to the unaliving. If it was just marijuana, not only would there be leeway, but there would be pardon leeway. If not the current president, then subsequent presidents, because they do look at that, especially for marijuana. Not so much for trafficking, but it can be looked at. But here, where you orchestrated and someone actually passed away, no, he ain't coming. He ain't coming out.
He has had his first, I believe, he's had his first court appearance, and he did put in a not guilty plea. Are we shocked? No, but no. He put in a not guilty
because he wants to get enough.
Hi. Auntie, we wrap it up. Right? We wrapping it up. I promise.
You can sit in my lap. She said, "Look at my nails,
gorgeous."
Tell them your name if you gonna interrupt.
I'm Addison.
And how old are you?
3.
You're 3.
It's about to be Christmas.
It's about to be Christmas, and guess what? Today is my daughter's 6th birthday. She turned 6 today.
What do we tell her? Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Thank you.
Yes. And what do we like to do when we hang out in my room and it's only girls? What do we call it?
Girls like ooh ooh.
I love that. I love that.
Yes. And on that note,
Yes, on that note, we're gonna wrap it up. We will follow this case and give you updates. You know, they gathering all the pieces for him to go to court. So make sure you guys go over to Attorney Symone Redwine's Instagram. Make sure you
Yes, thank
subscribe
you.
to her YouTube channel. Girl, Is That Legal on YouTube. Fill out the form. She tagged the form in here for you guys if you're looking to do a background check. And I'm your girl V with Reality Recap. It's on the screen. Follow me Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, on YouTube as well. Reality Recap 2876 on YouTube for all the trending reality news. We will be back when there's another scandal. You know, it will always be one. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all Wednesday. Thank you for checking in and commenting. Everyone have a good night. Peace.
Good night.
Bye.